What's going on, guys? This is RRPG here, and I'm here to present another 2 cents video on the 2 cents block for you all. Before I get on with this video, I need to make a response to those of you who felt that I got away from doing my 2 cents videos and such, as the last few videos I have posted on here were about me doing those speed sketches of stuff that I worked on through Art Academy Home Studio on Wii U. First of all, I'm not abandoning the 2 cents videos anytime soon, as I wanted to do something fun and productive instead of just doing one of those things that I do best on here. Sometimes I need to escape reality and do something else, like with the Art Academy Home Studio program through the Wii U, which is a really awesome app, by the way. In the past, I did go to a college to try and get into video game art, where I learned so many things about how to create environments, characters, paintings, and such that could help me with my character design skills. After I played around with the beginner's course through the app, my interest in doing sketches on characters took over me, as I wanted to try and retread my past experience to some degree. I'll still be doing those sketches and uploading them on YouTube in the future, but don't fret in thinking I am done with 2 cents videos or reviews, as that is entirely not true. I know I've been late with topics such as the one I'm going to discuss, as well as certain others like what I want to see in the Nintendo One X, and even industry analysts using Iwata's death as a justifying means to claim that the Wii U is dead, which to me that is very disgusting to a major extent. Just relax and wait, because I am not going anywhere with my content, as interest can really hit someone that they want to try and retrace back, such as the Art Academy Home Studio program that piqued my interest for quite some time. Anyway, enough talk on that, and let us get on with the video at hand, shall we? If you recall from my 2 cents video last year where I expressed my discontent about the Wii U version of Project Cars being delayed, this is a direct follow-up to that. I want to start off by saying that I may have been extremely distraught because of Slightly Mad Studios giving the Wii U version the Second-Class Citizen Act because of the delay, but as time passed, I started to see that many things had to be taken into account as to why the developer chose to develop the game on both the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, as architecture really plays an important factor into a game's development. Since the Wii U wasn't that powerful to handle the game amongst that caliber, I wasn't that fazed when Ian Bell from Slightly Mad Studios saying that problems in the Wii U build of the game were in full force over Andy Tudor's comments saying that the Wii U version ran just as great as the others. Now, we have to come to know that Slightly Mad Studios has come to an impasse with the Wii U build as they have forfeited any further development on the platform. At first, Ian Bell left a very ambiguous quote where he says that Project Cars is simply too much for the Wii U, so that there was a strong indicator amongst journalists and gamers that the game had been cancelled on the platform. It wasn't until shortly after that quote when Andy Tudor, the head designer of the game, fully announced the game's cancellation on Wii U. This is what Tudor had to say in regards to the game's cancellation. Despite much perseverance on the Wii U version of Project Cars, we will no longer be actively pursuing development on it, as the quality does not meet our own high standards nor our intended vision for the title on this platform. We eagerly look forward to any announcement of further hardware from Nintendo, but right now Project Cars is simply too much for Wii U, despite our very best efforts. Apologies to our Nintendo fans out there that have been waiting for further news on this, but we have no desire to release a product that isn't at the very least comparable with our highest rated version on other platforms. We optimistically look forward, therefore, to what the future may hold. Looking at Project Cars for what Slightly Mad Studios has worked on seems to make sense, because the announcement of the game being left in the dark for PS3 and 360 owners, as they favored more of the PS4 and Xbox One versions, should have been a worrying notion to Wii U owners about that version of the game. In a sense, I'm not really mad at the announcement of the Wii U version's cancellation, but just disappointed because of something else that has caused so much controversy between Slightly Mad Studios and Nintendo fans, as I'll be addressing both sides on the case, because they are not handling the situation very properly. First off, let us direct the attention toward the Wii U install base and Nintendo fanboys who are making a huge stink about this before tackling Slightly Mad Studios with what they did. I remember watching a video from Nintendo Enthusiast where one of the contributors, who was not Sean Long nor Jason Lapine, who are great guys that run the website and their YouTube page, so I definitely suggest that you go check them out when you get the chance. Anyway, in the video, which talked about the details on how Project Cars was created through crowdfunding means and not a big publisher, was something that I found to be in agreement with, because crowdfunding sources can actually hear fan feedback from their message boards and see what is viable in their minds to create the game on. Their decisions can actually be influenced about what others say, so any platform can be considered a maybe type of game, as stuff like What They Do is the analogy of a lazy Susan, as decisions can come and go at the blink of an eye. Case in point, Look at Slightly Mad Studios abandoning the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 platforms for their successors. That there is the main reason to worry, because going for those platforms, which are clearly more powerful than the Wii U, would have given Wii U owners and Nintendo fans much more reason to fret. I guess what I'm trying to say is that architecture, time, and money plays a very important role in a game's development, because a developer wants to try and find the best solution to deliver a fantastic product in the end. That is why the developer got ambitious to create the most beautiful looking and power-inducing racing simulator that is developed by a third party. We all got to take into account that the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One's architecture is very similar to that of the PC, as the Wii U is indeed a different beast to port a game on, which even the PS3 and 360 were not capable of. In the end, whatever Slightly Mad ended up going for to meet their vision, the Wii U version was bound to end up meeting a terrible fate. Let us think of it this way. The trend of terrible third-party games on the Wii U has overstayed its welcome, and I think it was a better idea to not release a game that didn't meet up to at least 60 frames per second, as having a game less than that should not always be considered a standard in the gaming industry right now. Wii U owners should at least feel thankful that another GIMP port did not come onto their system. However, not all feel that way, as they still feel pretty salty about not getting the game on their platform. If you are still in that boat, then I really don't know what else I can do to convince you otherwise. Project Cars is cancelled on Wii U, so if you really want to play the game that badly, then you'll have to buy it on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or PC if you have any of those other platforms available. If you don't, then you are stuck in shit creek with no end in sight. I made mention that personal preference is one of the biggest epidemics in the gaming community, but how much longer must one be complacent toward a single piece of plastic? I have a Wii U, PlayStation 4, and PC with the hopes of picking up an Xbox One down the road. If you can't afford all of them at once, then at least acknowledge and respect the competition, because this war between those who prefer one platform over the other is completely ridiculous. I even made a video talking about how this whole war between fanboys and social justice warriors who shout out a plethora of nonsense about their platform of choice being better than the other really needs to stop. If you can't play the game, then acknowledge the acclaim and recognition that it is getting. That is the most human thing that one can do, instead of pussyfooting around the norm to cause an even bigger mess of controversy. Next up, let me direct my attention towards Slightly Mad Studios, because they are not safe from any criticism either. What I find to be the most interesting from Slightly Mad Studios is that they originally had the Wii U as one of the platforms to put Project Cars on since the conception of the game's development. Andy Tudor has come out and praised the Wii U's hardware capabilities, with matching their vision by saying that Project Cars ran beautifully just like the other platforms it was being developed for. This was said about a few times before the initial announcement of the Wii U version's delay, with Tudor now changing his stance a bit, with saying that Slightly Mad Studios needs more time so that they can make sure that the Wii U build would run just as well as the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions, and then Ian Bell coming out after the game's release to say that the Wii U build runs like crap. To me personally, banking off of promises like that and ending up lying to a specific consumer base is very disgusting, because that paints a picture of what the business is that isn't being truthful at the start of a project's creation. Not long after that, Ian Bell goes on Project Cars' own forums to announce him and the company's distaste toward the Nintendo fan base because of the negative reaction that the developer was getting. While the news doesn't really faze me about the game's cancellation on Wii U, which is more for the best that the system doesn't get another crappy third-party game on there, but the fact that the studio lied during the development has me not only disappointed, but really disgusted altogether. Look, I'm not saying that you guys coming out to cancel Project Cars on Wii U was the wrong choice, but lying to an install base where driving simulation games are completely absent, along with many other genres, is not the smartest thing to do, because you guys created that controversy on your end. This thing goes all the way back to when you gave strong indication to bring the game to the Wii U platform, as you gave so many of those people of the install base an unworldly opportunity to play a game that is on par to the likes of Gran Turismo and Forza, because there are a good number of people on there who actually like driving games when looking at Mario Kart 8 and the upcoming 90s Arcade Racer and Fast Racing Neo. Plus, you were hyping the game for the platform with unique elements you would incorporate into the Wii U gamepad that not many developers have done, which started to give off an even stronger attention grabber toward Wii U owners to heavily invest in your game, even during the crowdfunding campaign. Now, the whole delay from last year and its recent cancellation has come about, and now pretty much a vast majority of Nintendo fanboys and Wii U owners are out for your blood, essentially. Since I do own a copy of the game on the PlayStation 4, some of you might now be wondering if I plan on selling my copy back to a gaming retail outlet or whatnot. I'm not getting rid of my copy of Project Cars anytime soon. Slightly Mad Studios is a young and up-and-coming business that doesn't have a track record established for the company just yet. It is always good to support those who are young and need a place in the gaming industry as much as the independent developers from around the globe. Now, I got a couple things to say about Slightly Mad Studios in response to the Wii U version's cancellation of Project Cars. Do I agree wholeheartedly with what they did for that game? Especially the Wii U version. Oh, hell no. Not in the slightest. Banking off of promises and from what was said out of their mouths without any proof isn't very ethical of a publisher or even a developer. That is a very dick move on their part. Do I believe that what they did is the worst thing since Hitler? No, not at all. What they did has in no way physically hurt anyone. What they did was that they got ahead of themselves without actually working on the Wii U build with no prior knowledge of the architecture. Stuff like this happens to all of us who don't look at things from a much broader perspective, or even those who don't read the fine print on many things. I mean, do I feel that the Nintendo fanbase and Wii U owners should go out of their way to take legal action? Which there are those who want to do that as they feel betrayed by this whole controversy. So do I feel that it is right for them to do that kind of thing? No! I don't think anything such as a new developer using a crowdfunder that can make them change platforms is enough to warrant a lawsuit, okay? That is a bit extreme. What you, the nut-hugging Nintendo fanboys and Wii U owners do, and what you choose to do, is literally your call. For me personally, I think Slightly Mad Studios has realized how grave of an error they made on their part now that so many people have gone so negatively against them. But the other reason is that I feel that they were kind of done with lying to everyone, as they want to confess their mistake in the form of saying that the development of the Wii U build was crap, if that was their plan. And if that was their plan, then it seems like they wanted to go off of the notion that they died, or the Wii U version of Project Cars died, as they want to save their game for the upcoming Nintendo NX, and we went on with our lives. Slightly Mad Studios' own plan was... They didn't really benefit or gain anything out of this. I mean, they got Wii U owners and Nintendo fans hyped about their game, and then regret not being able to live up to their hopes for the game to make it onto the system by stating a heartfelt apology, along with saying that they aren't abandoning Nintendo owners by making sure that they bring their project to the Wii U successor. Now, all they gave was just the base response saying that the game is too much for the Wii U, as they really didn't go into full detail about what it is that can't make the game run at least 30 frames per second, to where games in this day and age should have a better frame rate to at least 60 frames per second, as console games seem like they still haven't achieved that goal for that particular medium. Slightly Mad Studios has not said much than just those few things to give a straight-up answer with no detailed explanations on their behalf. They haven't even talked about the issue a whole lot on the forums either. Then again, I think they would be smart enough not to add anybody as a friend who is a die-hard Nintendo fanboy who would want to try and befriend every single person who works for the developer to slam them with so many questions and a bunch of hate at the same time. Anyway, I'm going to end off the video on these few bits. First up is Slightly Mad Studios. While I disagree with the stance you took in not being truthful with Wii U owners about that version's build with Project Cars, but since you managed to succeed in making the game both a critical and commercial success, you did bring a great game for everyone to enjoy. This does not excuse you for the lies that you committed at all. Not by any means. However, one gimped port less for the Wii U is one less sob story, really. Do I feel that Slightly Mad Studios saying that a Wii U version being possible is enough to warrant Wii U owners to go on their crowdfunder to donate for that particular version? No, not really. As I said, a crowdfunder can change someone's stance really quickly, as they aren't playing by the rules of a publisher from the beginning. But for all we do know, Slightly Mad Studios did make the right choice in not giving Wii U owners a crappy third-party game that has overflooded the system since the console's launch in 2012. And yes, I am happy that Slightly Mad Studios has come out and admitted the truth about the Wii U build of Project Cars, but it sucks that they end up pulling a bullshit stunt like this, which, in a sense, from our perspective, yeah, it was a bullshit stunt, but from their perspective, it didn't seem like it was that intentional from their end. Now, to all the salty Nintendo fanboys and Wii U owners out there, yes, it sucks that the truth had to come out. But that should in no way mean that you can't acknowledge and respect Slightly Mad Studios in any way, as they haven't forgotten about the Nintendo fanbase, as the Wii U wasn't powerful enough to fit their vision and scope of the game. If you plan on picking up the NX when it releases and it proves to be just as powerful, if not equal to its competition, then that is where you will most likely see Project Cars and its sequels end up on, as they want to satisfy you even if indecisive decisions are to be made. Don't go out of your way to do anything from harassing them, threatening them with legal action, or any of that crap, as that isn't the way to handle this outcome. You gotta be above that. Besides, there are many other games that are coming onto the Wii U that you can look forward to until you get your NX fix in the future. If you like racing games, then there is 90s Arcade Racer and Fast Racing Neo coming this year, and both games look phenomenal as eShop titles. You also have the next Zelda game coming along with many others that you won't find on the 3DS, PC, Vita, PS4, or on Xbox One. Don't be a monkey's asshole, and make the right decision with assessing the situation before jumping the gun with baseless conjecture in the future. The most mature thing you do when something doesn't go well next time can possibly end up making a difference, as Project Cars cancellation on Wii U is not the end of the world. Think long and hard about that, will ya? Alright guys, that's all I have to say on this matter. In the comments section below, tell me your thoughts on Project Cars cancellation on Wii U. Are you satisfied with not getting another crappy third-party game on the system? Or are you still pretty pissed at Slightly Mad Studios for lying since the game's conception? Make sure to rate this video as well as leaving your positive and negative feedback down in the comments. Also be sure to hit that subscribe button underneath this video, as more support from you guys will mean that more content is coming from me in the future that you won't find anywhere else. Until next time, this is Double RPG signing out by saying Godspeed and game on, gamers. Have a good one.
You